Hello and welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Sanjay, this is it. All the 13 years of IPL preparation, all the Syed Mushtaq Ali trophy preparations, all the preparations from all the T20 games in this year India have played. It all boils down to today, the semi-finals of a T20 World Cup versus England, who potentially are arguably the best white ball cricket at least in the last 5 to 6 years. So England have chosen to field. They won the toss, and Adelaide record shows whoever bats first in at least in the last 5 matches have not won the game. So what do you make out of it? What can we expect in today's semi-final, the second semi-final, and Pakistan are desperately waiting in the finals?
Absolutely. Morning, Suman. Early morning for you. I know. I've had a relatively late start. It's only 7:30, 7:45 here in London. But yeah, massive day for any Indian cricket fan. You remember the past few semi-finals India have played. They've been miserable. You remember Manchester, that 2-day ODI semi-final against New Zealand. Then you have nightmares of Mumbai against West Indies. Then losing a final to Sri Lanka in a T20 World Cup. So yeah, World Cup post 2011 hasn't been great for India. Yes, we did win the 2013 Champions Trophy, but all eyes on Adelaide. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. Yes, coming to the toss, very surprising that Josh Butler decided to field first, but he's gone by the records. Although in this World Cup, team batting first have had distinct advantage. Even the game where I think England were chasing against Sri Lanka. They reached the at the score in the last over. All they had a great start. So Rohit Sharma said that he was going to bat first in any case. So yeah, it'd be absolutely fascinating. Obviously, England have injury concerns. They haven't got Mark Wood, who's been the quickest bowler for England. They also do not have David Malan, so Phil Salt and Chris Jordan come in. So if it's a high scoring game, I think it'll be tricky because India's problem over the last few years has been batting first and setting up good totals. But hey, there's not going to be any due on this one, so I'm quite pumped up. So hoping all the marginal decisions that are above the green, everything goes our way.
Absolutely. And look, in a knockout match, I am a big follower of batting first and putting up the score because the irrespective of what the record says in the ground, the pressure will catch up. And in a game like this, where entire ground will be packed, I at least feel 90% of the ground will be Indians. So putting up the score, crowd behind, and England trying to go after the score. We never know if we get to like 180 plus, game on England. It's all up to England to figure it out. But team news perspective, you mentioned that England have not fielded Mark Wood and Malan, which are big blows. But from an India perspective, much expected. We were talking about it in preview yesterday. As usual, Rohit and Dravid are going with no change. They're playing the same 11 which they played against Zimbabwe, which means Rishabh Pant continues to retain his place. Is he possibly an X factor along with Surya Kumar Yadav today?
He could be because he's got a good record against England. Although in Test matches he's probably had a better record. But England, if we watched the preview which England were doing, Nasser Ian and Mike Atherton, they had a good 3-4 minutes on Rishabh Pant with shorter boundaries. I think he might be into play. Yeah, it's tough on DK, to be honest, because we've persisted with him for the last 2, 3, 4 months, and then in the big stage they've backed Rishabh Pant. I think it's purely because they think he's the X factor, and they've not got much out of DK. And I'm hoping the catches stick with Rishabh Pant, and he gets a bit of luck because he could have a 30 ball 50, and that could set up the game nicely for India. Plus he's a left-hander, which India has missed a lot. Although they did play Akshar Patel up and down the order over the last 6 months, but yeah, Rishabh Pant could be an X factor, but we genuinely need a good start. I think if we have a good power play, 60 runs, I'm just too much, maybe 50 runs, no loss. I think that should set up nicely.
Yeah. And Anil is asking what position Pant plays. Do you think Rohit and KL will continue to open and then Rishabh Pant will play at number four? I think last match he played. Do you think he will retain this spot or any surprises coming in like a pinch hitter, number
It
three
depends.
or?
Yeah, depends upon the situation of the game. If we have a great opening start, 15 overs no loss, or 15 overs 1 or 2 wickets, he might straight away come in at number 4. But if we are like 15 for 3 or something, then he might be coming slightly down the order, one way or the other, at whatever position he ends up batting. I think he'll have to back his game and hopefully get some runs for India. But I'm hoping that we don't lose more than 4 5 wickets and we get a nice total on the board, because England have got big hitters, and unless we bat them out of we've got a great chance to potentially bat them out of the game. 180 plus is what I'm looking at, but this is a high scoring round. As you mentioned, P team batting first have lost more games recently. So yeah, I don't know what to make of the toss, because both teams have got what they wanted. So be very interesting to see.
Absolutely. And Rohit Sharma due a big score. Johnny Paul, hopefully you're licking your lips. This is the biggest occasion it can ever get. Probably it's going to be a big call, but probably his last World Cup, T20 World Cup. So, and this is it. Like I mentioned at the start, all the preparation, all the money, all the hype, it all boils down to today. Whether we like it or no, it's the pressure match, and India have to deliver because every single Indian, trust me, even though they are pumped, must be in their corner of their minds thinking through, oh my god, what if England wins tonight? So Sanjay,
Yeah.
what's the realistic score? You said 180. I know you're speaking of an Indian heart, but what should be a safe total with England batting lineup today?
I mean, nothing's safe with England batting lineup. Joss Butler clicking alone could, make a mess of any score, even if it's 200. So I think they'll probably go again with a cautious start, because you don't want a situation where you end up losing too many wickets. But let's get 180 at least. And then we back our bowlers to try and get some swing, get the wickets, etc. And the reason why most of the Indian fans are nervous is not just because we are playing England, because we know that Pakistan have made it and they are all desperately waiting for India to make it. So it'll be like, if we can't win this, then we, yeah, quite poor. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
And everybody's after KL Rahul. Match starts at 1:40 because Rahul will play the first maiden over anyway. So a lot of expectations. He didn't do that bad this World Cup, to be frank. Do you think he should continue the way he is doing? I mean, there's nothing much he can do. 140 plus strike rate he's going after.
I'm reading some of the comments, which we obviously can't bring up, but no, I think he should back his own game, because there's no point in trying to go after. He's no Finn Allen, or someone who's just or Prithvi Shaw who's gonna start from ball one. So he will take his time. Let him take his time. 1 or 2 overs, just seeing off, how much swing there is, and then go from there. I think the biggest concern for India would be Sam Curran. I don't think England would want to go with Ben Stokes as the opening bowler, because in the past they've done that through the course of the tournament, because they wanted to get rid of some of the overs. But here I think they would want to go couple of wickets at least in the power play, some big scalps like Rohit and Virat, and that'll set them up nicely from an England perspective. From India perspective, I think just be slightly cautious, but also not get bogged down when the opportunity arrives. Try and back yourself. Square boundaries are short. Both Rahul and Rohit really love the pull shot, cut shot, the flick of the legs, etc. So yeah, I think should be a cracking contest.
It should be, and you might see me watching on the right side television. I'm not distracted. I'm just intrigued, Sanjay, looking at the crowd in the ground. This looks like Mumbai or Chinnaswamy or Ferashakotla or Wankhede or Eden Gardens. This doesn't look like Adelaide at all. Your thoughts on England feeling the pressure with the crowd?
I think it'd probably be the other way around. England would probably be a bit more relaxed, because they will feel that they're playing away from home. Although Adelaide has been a happy hunting ground for them, it's been a happy hunting ground for Virat Kohli forever. But England will feel the pressure of not having delivered in T20 cricket like everyone would have expected them to. They had two semi-final knockouts, one a final knockout with Carlos Brathwaite in 2016, and then that Barrel Mitchell special in UAE last year. So I think England would want to get over the line this time and meet Pakistan. Obviously, Joss Butler is captaining his first big tournament, so he'll probably feel the pressure as well. So Virat Kohli, Josh Butler, those are the guys I think probably I'd look out for what they do today.
Yeah, and Andy, we spoke about the Indian order. I think India will stick to the order which went with Zimbabwe, unless any early wickets India is losing and Punk needs to come into play. Otherwise, they'll stick to what happened in Zimbabwe. From Syed Hussein coming in, hope Jordan will be at his generous self. Even though we have known Chris Jordan from our IPL days, we call him Run Machine, but England consider him a death bowler, and he does deliver. So should we be wary about? I know we spoke about Sam Curran, we spoke about Chris Wokes, but should we be wary about Jordan coming in, fresh legs, and potential game changer if at all replacing Mark Wood?
Not just his bowling, and I agree, in IPL he's under delivered definitely, but he's their premier death bowler, if you want to call him that way, in their vitality blasts or even in the 100 competition. He generally does quite well, and I think his fielding, one important catch, one important run out, that could change things around. So he'll always be a plus on the field, and he'll give his 100%, even tonk the ball with a bat if the opportunity arrives. So might be a bit undercooked with no opportunities, but it's a big stage. This is where you could make a name for yourself. And Phil Salt as well. India's not probably seen much of him. Yes, we played the recent series in England, so that's another one which we'll have to be wary of. Semi-final, new players coming in doesn't go well with India. We've seen what happened in 2016 with with Glendon Lewis. So yeah, fingers crossed we get a big score and then we back our bowlers.
Absolutely. And one last thing Sadhu said before we drop for the game is, excuse me, he says, hope dew will not be a factor when India bowls. From seeing the pink ball test match, of course, pink and white ball is different, but Adelaide historically has been a spinning pitch. Do you expect any swing for Shamis and Bhuvis or Chris Wokes kind of likes?
Because it's more of an open ground compared to any of the others. There might be some breeze from one of the old scoreboard stand where there's an open end. So I think breeze might help the bowlers. So if there's any swing, I think Bhuvi and Shami Arshdeep, they would be the best to try and exploit it. But dew, I don't think there'd be much dew factor in the entire tournament. I've not had anyone seen anyone carrying too much white towels or wiping the ball. So I think it'll be an even contest for both teams. The pitch probably won't change much. Hopefully, it's a good batting track, and our spinners can do the damage as well if required.
Absolutely. And punt behind the stumps will be quite funny. I agree. And Syed Hussain says today's RR day. Do you think Rizwan and Babar inspiration will rub on Rohit and Rahul today?
They need a bit of luck as well. Like Babar had that first ball drop catch from Devon Conway. I think if Rohit can have a bit of that, that'll probably help. One way or the other, a good start is an absolute must. We don't want a situation where we are three down. But from an England's perspective, that's exactly what they would want to do. Get early wickets and put pressure on the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, and Hardik Pandya, who's probably not been in the best of touches. And then, try and restrict them under 150, 160. That'll be an ideal scenario for England. But for us, yeah, top three have to fire.
Excellent. So hope you retain the same jersey during the mid innings and post innings. Players are coming out for national anthem, so we should not
Yeah,
hold
you
up
got to put it
anybody.
in the bin because this is the one which I wear when India loses. So I'm hopefully
Well,
not gonna need that.
absolutely. So let's enjoy the national anthem. We all need to stand up in few minutes, and the game's about to start. It's a big game. All the best, Team India. All the best, Team England. Semi-finals of T20 match, Sanjay. We will we will be back for the mid-inning shows to see where India stands, and what will England chase. For folks who have engaged,
Absolutely,
thanks
yeah.
very much. Hopefully, we will see you again, and thanks for watching and enjoy the game.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.